Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back. This is an extremely late review of Dune Part 2. Um, Also, it's going to be talking about the book. I just read that. Just read the book. Um, and by the time I'm recording this, the TV show Dune Prophecy uh, is has been, I think its season finale was a few months ago by the time I recorded this. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. Uh Start off, let's just get right into it. Start off with talking about the book the compared to Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2. When I first saw Dune Part 1, I thought that movie was going to be like the entire book. And then part two was Dune Messiah. I did not. Yeah, I didn't. And at the time, what I didn't know, because I hadn't read the book yet, was that the first movie, only went to about halfway through the book, right up until right after the Harkonnens attack the 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 Atreides, and they're walking through the desert, and they're walking through the desert, trying to get away, looking for help, and then they run into the Fremen, and then Paul has to fight. One of their members and kill him, and that's where the first movie ends. And then the second movie takes place shortly after that. And I didn't realize at the time that it was like that first movie's half the book. I thought it was gonna be the whole. I thought it was gonna be the whole book, and then part two was Dune Messiah. After I read the book, I was like, oh, okay. They kind of did what they did with these two movies. What Ready Player One should have did. I'm going to make another video about that because I just finished reading Ready Player Two, so it's going to be another video about that. That's going to be another video, completely another video. Um, Now, I really did like this book, and I was reading it, and as I was like reading it, I was like comparing. I was like, as I was reading it, I was visualizing those parts that were in the movie. But then there's other parts in the movie. There are other parts in the book that aren't in the movie, like the conversation that Paul's mother has with a Fremen when she shows her where she gets shown the Chris knife for the first time. That wasn't in the movie, and I remember like, oh, that's a good. And I remember reading and thinking that's a good scene. That should have been in the movie. Maybe they filmed it and it got like, deleted, or maybe they took it out. Maybe they just left it out for, you know, pacing. Whatever. Could be a bunch of different reasons. It's like as I and I'm reading. It's like, and also, also was the they changed the ending. If you've seen the movie, by this point you've probably seen Dune Part 2. You've probably read the book. you know that in the book there's a there's like a time jump by like 10 years, I believe, maybe more. It's been a while since I read the book. They've they jumped in time. There's like a jump in time by years. Paul and his girlfriend, who was his girlfriend, are married by this point, and they had a kid who's now dead, and Paul's sister's been born. Excuse me. And she's really smart, and she knows a lot, like some things, and and I'm pretty sure she retained like all her memories from when she was in the womb because her mother ate the spice when she was pregnant with her. And in the end of the book, she's the one that kills Baron Harkonnen. She's the one that kills Baron Harkonnen, and then tells Paul that by leaving him a message in the timeline that only he can hear because he can look through the timeline by this point. And then she left him that message telling him, "Hey, I killed him." They also in the book he also after the fighting's all done, he takes the throne and then says that he's going to marry the princess. Erelon, I believe her name is. I might be mispronouncing that. He's going to marry the princess. And his wife is, okay, well, what's that? Where does that leave me? And then Paul's mother says, we're going to be, the history is going to know us as the wives. Which I believe is the last line in the book. She is then, and then that's kind of, and he like assures her that she's not gonna know any love from me or anything. She's just going. I'm only marrying her because marrying her gives me the throne. It makes me the emperor, and that's it. That's the only reason I'm marrying her. And then and it's been discussed, and she knows the plan, and everything's fine with that, or it seems fine by the end of the book. In the movie, he's in the movie they never get married. There's no time jump. They don't get married or have a kid. She is angry with him for good reason because he's been lying to her this whole time. He's been lying to her this whole time, and she's mad about it. And she and then he announces that he's going. He takes his father's signet ring, announces that he is Duke Paul Modib Atreides, and then announces his intention to marry the princess and become the emperor. And then when he turns around and looks at her, she's already angry at him, and then she becomes even more angry with him because of that. And it's like, and the first time I watched this movie, I was like, I don't know why she's angry at him. I was like, it didn't. I don't know. I don't think her anger is justified. And then when I watched the movie for the second time, I'm like, oh wait, I see it now. Yeah, I was an idiot. No, her anger is completely fucking justified. He's lying to her. He's been lying to her the whole time. I didn't get that. I I didn't get that at first. I had to watch it again to realize he's lying. Then, so then he wins the fight against Thade. I think that's his name, Thade. I'm really bad with some of the character names. Sorry. Some of these character names I kind of don't remember. I remember, and then he fights him, kills him. Great fight scene in the movie. Kills him, and then and it wasn't like a completely clean fight either. Like for Paul, he got hit a couple of times. By the end of it, he's limping, and then like he kills Thade, and then he's limping toward the emperor, and the princess is like, no, don't kill him, don't kill him. I'll marry you willingly. Just let my father live. And Paul lets him live. He become. I'm not. Also, he's the one. I blew past it. He's the one that kills Baron Harkonnen. Walked up to him and then stuck a knife right in his neck. As opposed to him being poisoned and eaten by a sandworm. In the original movie, he was poisoned and eaten by a sandworm. And then when Paul takes Paul is going to take the Fremen off world to go fight to go up against the other great houses. She stays behind because she's pissed off. I'm like, well, yeah, she has every right to be pissed off at him. Now that they've changed the ending. Excuse me. I haven't read Dune Messiah yet, so I don't know how that. And if they do a third Dune movie based on that ending, it's gonna completely change, like, the book. It's gonna completely change the story from the book, I'm assuming. So, if they make a third movie, I'm kind of eager to see how that turns out. I've held off on reading Dune Messiah because I'm waiting for them to announce the third movie, and I'm thinking that like they're probably taking a break from that. They probably took a break from that because they were making Dune Prophecy, which takes place 100 years before Paul Atreides. So I'm thinking like that's probably why they've not announced that yet. Okay. Dune. I guess I'm gonna try to keep this one short. Dune Part 2. Having not read the book beforehand, I thought was a great movie. You should definitely watch it. If you're not a fan of Dune, be a fan of Dune. It's great. Read the books. Read the books. Dune Messiah, Children of Dune. See, God Emperor of Dune, Heretics of Dune, and Chapter House Dune. 6 books. Great. Again, I haven't read Dune Messiah. I haven't read Dune Messiah yet. I'm waiting on them to announce that movie. I'm hoping they announce that movie at some point, and then I'm going to read it. And then by the time the movie comes out, I'll be able to spot the differences between the book and the movie because I read the book. before I saw the movie. I did see this one. I saw in theaters. I didn't see the first one in theaters because it was the pandemic. Because it came out during the pandemic, and then so this one came out way after the pandemic, so I saw it in theaters. Um, again, so again, like I thought it was a great movie, and you should definitely watch it. I have it on 4K now, and then compared to the book, I don't know. I don't know. I think they made the changes to make I think they made the changes to, I don't know, something with Paul. I don't know what the word is for it. Not sympathetic. They make Paul. They did it. I think they changed Paul's character a little bit, um, to make him not so much of a hero, maybe, as he may have came off in the book. They still do the whole. They do the kind of like the false prophet thing, because he he knows, because both in like the book and the movie, he says he's not the Kwisatz Haderach. Again, I might be mispronouncing that. He knows he's not. He knows he's not the Kwisatz Haderach. And in the book, they mention that he's a mentat. A mentat kind of analyzes data, like absorbs data and analyzes it to try to predict an outcome, to predict certain outcomes that may happen. And then he gets trained as a mentat, and he's going to use that to pretend to be the Kwisatz Haderach. They, in the movie, I don't remember them mentioning the word mentat at all in the movie, but he is still pretending to be the Kwisatz Haderach, and then he's going to use that to basically trick people into thinking that he is what he isn't, and so he can get revenge. And that was the secret plan the whole time. That was his secret plan the whole time. And then of course he falls in love with this Fremen girl who hated him in the beginning, but then she comes to love him. And then he's lying to her he's lying to her throughout the entire movie that he didn't want to lead anyone. He didn't want to be the Messiah. He just wanted to fight alongside the Fremen. Yeah, he's lying. And then it's like, and his mother is telling him like, "Hey, you are the Kwisatz Haderach." In the movie, I believe it's in the movie he goes on the journey. He goes on this journey and ends up becoming the Kwisatz Haderach, and doesn't. I believe he may. And I think after he takes the water of life, he realizes he's the Kwisatz Haderach. And in the book, he doesn't. He admits to he like finally accepts it by the end. And then becoming like instills like I may actually be the Messiah. I might actually be this Messiah that they've been waiting for. And then it's like, and then he really, and then like in the movie, and then like in the movie, he really like turns it up right before the battle. Right before they go after the Harkonnens. Um, the the, was it the Betty Jesuit, or they're they're scheming throughout this entire thing. They're, excuse me, they know they're manipulating everything. She, the the mother superior, the mother superior, she's she doesn't know how the fight's going to turn out. She knows she knows the emperor is going to lose his throne. She knows the emperor is going to lose her throne. The princess finds out when she confronts Mother Superior to to question her on, you're the one that advised my father to have the Harkonnens attack the Atreides. And she's like, yeah, I did. Just admits it. Like, yeah, I did that. The Atreides were becoming a nuisance, so they needed to be eliminated. She knew that Paul would survive. She knew Paul would survive, so that he might possibly come and get the throne. Um, I believe she also knew that Baron Harkonnen wanted Thaye to become emperor. Um, she knew that, so they were planning. So they planned for that. Had had one of the sisters go to Thaye to get pregnant by him, so that the Harkonnen line could live on in case all of the Harkonnens died. Because Thaye, his brother, and Baron Harkonnen die at the end of this movie. And I forgot his brother's name. Yeah, not good with some of the character names. He died because he led the attack. He was the one who led the attack in the first movie that cost the lives of Paul's dad, Duncan, Idaho, and a lot of other people. So, oh man, what's his name? I forget his name. Again, there's another character I forgot his name, played by the character that's played by shit. What's that actor's name? Josh Brolin. That he killed that guy for the Duke, for his Duke, and just took him out. So that's they're all dead. But then you find out. Then there's like later in the movie, you find out. Some point in the movie, you find out that Paul and his mother have Harkonnen blood in them, because she's related. Because Paul's mother is related to Baron Harkonnen. So they have Harkonnen blood in them. He basically rejects that by calling himself Paul, my dear Atreides. They, like I said, the book. I'm gonna wrap this up a little bit. The book is a great read. Do read it. It's great. Now moving on to the show Dune Prophecy. It takes place 100 years before Paul Atreides was born. Like years. So it's like this is like years after the human race has fought a war against what they call thinking machines, which I'm assuming is like machines powered by AI. It was a long fight. They obviously won. They won the fight. They won the war, and then the Harkonnens refused the fight. So as punishment for not fighting, they were banished. Excuse me, to another planet, to like a desolate planet somewhere. That planet, on that planet, either on that planet or on another planet, is where one of the Harkonnens created the Betty Jesurik, who is, she creates the order. She creates that order, trains them. They all get trained to like look into the future. They all get trained to look into to kind of look into it, to the future, and be able to like read people to see what they want, and all these other things. That's where the development, and that's where the development of the voice comes from. Like one of them developed the voice. One of them developed the voice and had to use it, to kill another sister that was supposed to take over the order after the previous mother superior died. But she was like, but they were like, wait, you're didn't you say you were going to continue? They disagreed on a lot of things, and where to take the order and how to take the order and how to direct them was one of the things they disagreed on. And she told her on her deathbed that, okay, I'm going to run the order as you would have run the order, just as you would have run the order. And then she died, and then later she finds that the sister that developed the voice finds out. Oh wait, like finds out she was lying. She's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna run it the way she would have run it. I'm not gonna run it the way she would have ran it, because she's running it wrong. She's running it wrong, and I only told her that because she was on her deathbed. Like, why would I tell her? Why would I like start an argument with someone on their deathbed? You know, I wouldn't. That would have been wrong of me to do that. I told her what she wanted. I told her what she wanted to hear, and then she's like, no, you can't do that. You have to respect her wishes. And then she uses the voice, on her. Tells her to take her knife out and stab herself in the neck with it. She stabs herself in the neck, kills herself. And then she takes over the order. So when we get to the present time of the show, she's the Mother Superior. Her name, she's a Harkonnen. She takes it over. She's the Mother Superior, and she runs the order the way the previous Mother Superior wanted it to be run. They are all over the Imperium. every um, every major house has a Betty Jesuit advisor. They are they are all constantly in communication with one another, telling, advising, not telling, advising each head of the houses, including the emperor, what to do, like what to do, what deals to make, and you know everything. They are basically in control of how the Imperium is ran. Like you see this when like uh, uh, the emperor, the emperor's wife has brokered a marriage between their daughter and another person at a great house, and the marriage is supposed to submit an alliance between them. And then with this marriage going through, the emperor is going is it no the not the emperor the other house is going to give the emperor access to ships and soldiers which they need. The 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 boy that they're supposed to be getting married, that she's supposed to marry, is like 12 years old. 12, 13 years old. So, yeah. She's getting married. She's supposed to marry him to cement the alliance between the emperor and this other house. He's asking for more than what they agreed upon. And then when he asked that, the 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 two sisters are there, and they start doing the sign language, thing between the both of them, like one of them saying, like, and I'm going to paraphrase here, like, wait a minute, that's not what was agreed on. It's like, no, tell the emperor to take it. Tell the emperor to take the deal. It's going to work out better this way, or whatever. So then when the emperor goes to her to ask for her advice, she tells him, take the deal. And then he goes back and takes the deal. So it's like, they're running everything. They're running everything behind the scenes. And then a monkey wrench gets thrown into all their plans. Oh, yeah. Also, the marriage. I forgot to say, the marriage is a part of their plan to get a Betty Jesuit on the throne. Because if she's married to someone, I don't know like how far the plan is supposed to go, but if one of them is married to the emperor, I guess that would mean they're next in line for the throne. So I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work, how that plan was supposed to work out. But a monkey wrench gets thrown into the plan when a soldier comes back from Arrakis, and he's the only surviving soldier that was in his troop, the only one. And he tells him, like, well, how are you the only one? Like, how are you the only one? Is like, look, I guess. And he claims he was eaten by a sandworm and survived. I'm like, how the hell is that possible? But then the emperor goes and looks into the record, and he sees the video, of this dude standing there, two thumpers, two thumpers, like out here, like next to him. He's standing in the middle, and you see the sandworm come out of the ground right towards him and eats him. It's like, what? And there's like, and he can't. It's like, how is that even possible? How did he get eaten by a worm and survive? And not only did he survive, he came back with a power. He can he can burn people from the inside out with just by thinking about it. They don't know how, and he uses it to kill the kid that the princess is supposed to marry. And that completely throws a monkey wrench into their plans. They cannot. It's like, well, the marriage is done. The marriage is over. They can't get one of them onto the throne if there's no marriage. And he did this. He did this because he knows that they're running everything. We fought a war, according to him, we fought a war because we were being controlled by machines and we wanted it to stop. So we fought a war to stop it. But here we are, still being controlled. That's not right. So he kills this kid, stops the marriage. Of course, there's an investigation because no one knows what happened to the kid. He confesses to murdering the kid to the emperor, and the emperor has him arrested, and he's imprisoned. But he tells him, "I did it for you. I did it for you. I did it for the Imperium," because that marriage would have thrown everything out. You know, it. And then he lets him out because it turns out like this guy can actually be a good asset to have. So he starts using him as an asset. And it's like they don't say that exactly, but that's pretty much what it is. He realizes that this guy and his power and this power he has can be useful. So I need to use that. He I'm not gonna tell you the whole thing. I'm not gonna tell you all of season one. It's still fresh. Go watch it. The surprise at the end of the season, you find out how he got the power, and it's not what you think he would. It's not what you think it is, and then that's going to lead into another bigger mystery in season 2. Hopefully, there is a season 2. But like I said, watch Dune Prophecy. Definitely watch it before season 2 comes out because it looks good. Also, season, and I'm hoping they announce. I'm hoping they announce the third movie sometime soon. Also in the Dune space. We also, if you play video games, Dune Awakening, the Dune survival game, is coming out soon. I've seen some gameplay footage of of that, of like the first like few missions of that game. It it looks great. It looks really good. The demo is on Steam right now. Go on there. If you got a good enough computer, if you got a good enough PC, go on Steam, download that game. There's a benchmark you can run to see if your computer can run the game. Run that benchmark. If you got a good enough computer, then get Dune Awakening on PC. Get Dune Awakening on PC, or you can get it on Xbox because it will be included in Xbox Game Pass when it comes out. So if you have that, you'll get it for free. So definitely do that. Do get you know so basically by the end of this, the movies are great. Watch them. Dune Part 1, Dune Part 2, great movies. Watch them. The books are great. Read those before you watch the movies. Watch Dune Prophecy on Max and play the upcoming video game. I think right now Dune is hitting it out the park. It's hitting it out of the park. I think when the game comes out, it's going to be a hit. Crossing my fingers. And just, get into Dune now. Get into Dune right now. Because it's making it's hit. It's just everything is a home run right now. Okay, end of the video. Have a good night. Press the like button. Press the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications. If you didn't like the video, hit the dislike button. Yeah. See you.